She donated her kidney to save her husband's life.
But 5 years later, he hated her for leaving him.
Rain was falling heavily in Accra. Inside a small hospital room, Gyasi lay weakly on the bed. Machines beeped slowly beside him. Faati sat quietly near the window, crying silently.
He needs surgery immediately, or he may not survive.
How much?
145,000 Ghana cedis.
Faati froze. It was impossible. Meanwhile, outside the hospital, 2 expensive black cars stopped. Nana Ifas stepped out slowly with bodyguards. Rich, powerful, cold. He entered the hospital room and stared at Faati with disgust.
My son is dying because of you. Father, stop it! You chose this poor girl over your family wealth. Now suffer the consequences.
Faati lowered her head painfully. Then Nana Ifa dropped the cruelest words.
If Gyasi leaves this woman, I will pay for everything.
Faati's heart shattered. Gyasi grabbed Faati's hand immediately. I will never leave you. But that night, Faati overheard something terrifying outside the hospital room. Nana Effer speaking to the doctor. If my son stays with her, let him die. Faati covered her mouth in shock. Tears rolled down her face immediately. And that was the night she decided to break her own heart, to save the man she loved. The next morning, Gyasi smiled weakly from his hospital bed, but Faati could not even look into his eyes. She had cried the entire night. Then slowly, she placed divorce papers on the bed. Gyasi froze.
What is this?
Faati forced herself to speak coldly.
I'm tired of suffering.
Gyasi looked heartbroken immediately.
Faati, what are you saying?
She turned away quickly to hide her tears.
Please, don't leave me, Amra.
I can't keep wasting my life on a sick man.
The words stabbed Gyasi's heart deeply. But Faati stayed strong, because deep inside, she was trying to save his life. Then she removed her wedding ring slowly and placed it beside him, and for the first time, Gyasi cried like a child. Days after the divorce, Gyasi became worse. Doctors rushed in and out of his hospital room.
He needs a kidney donor immediately.
Meanwhile, Faati secretly returned to the hospital at night, covered with a scarf so nobody would recognize her. Quietly, she signed the donation papers.
You're willing to do this after the divorce?
I still love him.
The doctor looked shocked. That same night, surgery began. Gyasi was unconscious the entire time, and he never saw the woman lying in the next room, fighting to save his life. Hours later, the surgery succeeded. Gyasi survived.
But when he woke up, Faati was gone. Again.
I can't breathe.
Weeks after leaving the hospital, Faati struggled alone in a small rented room. Weak from the kidney surgery, heartbroken from the divorce. One morning, she suddenly collapsed while working.
Oh, I can't breathe. What's wrong? Hold on.
She's collapsing. Help her!
Get a doctor, quick!
Later at the clinic, the doctor smiled softly.
Congratulations. You're pregnant.
Faati froze completely. Tears filled her eyes immediately. Gyasi's child. At that same moment, far away in Accra, Gyasi slowly recovered, but his heart became colder every day. He believed Faati abandoned him when he was dying. One evening, Nana Ifa entered his room, smiling proudly.
You finally see the kind of woman she was.
Gyasi, stayed silent.
But deep inside, he still loved her. And somewhere else.
Your father will never know the truth.
5 years passed. Faati now worked quietly in a small bar at night to take care of her son, Kwaku. Life was hard, but she never stopped fighting for her child. One rainy evening, the bar doors opened slowly, and Faati froze. Gyasi walked in wearing an expensive black suit. Beside him stood Ya. Beautiful, confident, rich. The same woman Nana Ifa wanted him to marry. Gyasi looked up casually. Then his eyes landed on Faati. Silence. The glass in Fati's hand nearly fell. Ya smiled proudly and held Gyasi's arm tighter. But Gyasi's face changed instantly. Pain. Anger.
So this is where you ended up?
He asked coldly. Faati lowered her eyes quietly. Then Ya dropped money on the table.
Kneel and serve us properly.
The entire bar became silent, and slowly, Faati went down on her knees. After that night, Gyasi could not stop thinking about Faati. Why was she working in a bar? Where did she disappear to for 5 years? And why did seeing her in pain hurt him so much? The next evening, he called his secretary secretly.
Follow her. I want to know everything.
Yes, sir, right away.
That night, after work, Faati walked through dark streets carrying leftover food home. But she didn't know someone was following her. Finally, she stopped in front of a small rented house. Then suddenly, the door opened. A little boy ran outside happily.
Mommy!
My baby!
I miss you!
I missed you too, my love.
Gyasi's secretary froze in shock. The boy looked exactly like Gyasi. Same eyes, same face. Meanwhile, inside the car nearby, Gyasi stared silently at the child through the window. And for the first time in years, his heart began to shake
Meanwhile,
again.
inside
The next morning, Gyasi could not focus on anything. The little boy's face kept replaying in his mind. Same eyes, same smile, same voice. Meanwhile, Kabi secretly returned to Faati's house. While playing with little Kwaku outside, he gently collected strands of the boy's hair. Then he rushed straight to the lab. Hours later, the DNA results finally came out. Kabi's hands started shaking immediately. 99.9% match. Kwaku was Gyasi's son. That evening, Gyasi sat quietly inside his office drinking alone. Still angry. Still heartbroken. Then Kabi entered slowly and placed the DNA file on the table. Gyasi looked confused, but the moment he opened it, his entire world stopped. Gyasi thought Faati betrayed him, until he discovered she was the reason he survived. After seeing the DNA results, Gyasi could not breathe properly. Athi hid his son from him for 5 years. But why? Nothing made sense anymore. Then Kabi spoke carefully.
Sir, there's something else you need to know.
Gyasi looked up slowly. Kabi placed another hospital file on the table.
She donated her kidneys secretly after signing the divorce papers.
Silence. Gyasi froze completely. No, he whispered. Kabi nodded sadly. Gyasi's eyes filled with tears immediately. Everything hit him at once. The divorce, the pain, the suffering, the sacrifice. Meanwhile, far away, Faati sat quietly beside little Kwaku while helping him sleep.
Shh, sleep now, my sweet Kwaku. Mama's here always. I still believe Gyasi hates me.
But at that same moment, Gyasi broke down crying for the first time in years, because the woman he punished the most was the woman who saved his life.
The man she once begged not to leave her was now begging for a second chance. That same night, Gyasi drove straight to Faati's house. No bodyguards, No driver, no pride, only regret. His hands trembled as he knocked on the door. When Faati opened it, she froze. Neither of them spoke. 5 years of pain stood between them. Then Gyasi suddenly dropped to his knees. Faati stepped back in shock.
Gyasi, what are you doing?
Tears rolled down his face.
You saved my life. You gave me your kidney. You gave birth to my son. And I repaid you with hate.
Before she could speak, little Kwaku walked out sleepily. The little boy stopped, then looked at Gyasi. For the first time, father and son stood face to face, and neither of them knew what to say. The night was quiet. Gyasi stood frozen, staring at little Kwaku. Kwaku stared back curiously. Then the little boy looked at his mother.
Mommy, who's this?
Faati could not speak. Tears filled her eyes. Gyasi's heart pounded. Then Kwaku asked another question, the question nobody was ready for.
Is he my daddy?
Silence. Faati began crying immediately. Gyasi covered his mouth as tears rolled down his face. Slowly, he knelt in front of the boy. Yes,
I'm your father.
his voice shook.
I'm your father.
Kwaku looked confused. Then he said softly,
If you're my daddy, why did you never come for me?
Gyasi broke down completely, because he had no answer. Little Kwaku does something unexpected that changes everything. Tears filled Gyasi's eyes after Kwaku's question. The little boy stood quietly for a moment, looking at him, studying his face. Then suddenly, Kwaku walked closer. Faati held her breath. Gyasi wiped his tears. Nobody knew what the boy would do next. Then Kwaku opened his small arms and hugged him.
It's okay, Daddy.
It's okay, Daddy, he whispered. Gyasi froze. For 5 years he carried anger. For 5 years he carried regret. But one hug from his son broke every wall around his heart. He held Kwaku tightly and cried openly. Faati turned away and cried too. Then Kwaku looked at both of them and smiled.
Can we be a family now?
Silence. The question hit harder than anything else. Because for the first time, they all wanted the same thing. Came face to face with his grandson. The next morning, a convoy of luxury cars stopped outside Faati's small house. Villagers rushed outside to watch. Then Nana Effa stepped out slowly, the same man who once forced Faati out of Gyasi's life. Inside the house, Kwaku was playing with a toy car. When the door opened, the little boy looked up curiously. Nana Effa froze. The child looked exactly like Gyasi when he was young. Same eyes, same smile. Same face. For the first time in years, the powerful businessman could not speak. Then Kwaku walked closer and asked innocently,
Are you my grandpa?
Silence. Tears filled Nana Effa's eyes. The proud old man who never cried in public suddenly looked away. Meanwhile, Faati watched nervously. She remembered every painful word he had said to her. Then Nana Effa slowly turned toward her and did something nobody expected. He bowed his head. Faati, forgive me. The next morning, Nana Effa called the entire family to his mansion. Nobody knew why. Lawyers arrived. Business partners arrived. Even Ya was invited. The room was filled with tension. Then Nana Effa stood up slowly. His voice was calm, but his eyes were full of regret.
For years, I thought money was more important than love.
Silence filled the room. He turned toward Faati, the woman he once blamed, the woman he once separated from his son, the woman who secretly saved Gyasi's life. Then he spoke again.
Today, I am correcting my biggest mistake.
The lawyer opened a large file. Everyone watched nervously. Then the shocking announcement came. Nana Effa had transferred houses, land, businesses, shares, and a large part of his estate to Faati. The room exploded with shock. Ya stood up immediately.
What?
Faati started crying.
I don't want your wealth.
Nana Effa smiled sadly.
This is not payment. This is gratitude.
Then he walked toward little Kwaku, knelt beside him, and handed him the keys to a new home.
Family should never suffer because of my pride.
Tears filled the room. Gyasi held Faati's hand tightly. Kwaku hugged both of them. And for the first time in many years, there was peace. Months later, Gyasi and Faati renewed their wedding vows. The same hands that once signed divorce papers now exchanged rings again. Family, forgiveness, love, everything they lost had finally returned. And as they stood together holding Kwaku between them, Gyasi smiled at Faati and said, "You saved my life twice, first with your kidney, and then with your love."